Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for SteveArts89. Well, this is my non-review review for 4.5 Vulcans. I can't make myself watch this episode. I cannot do it to myself, so I'm just sort of going to review the episode based on what other people have said and the preview clips and stuff like that, because I don't need to see this to know how bad it is. And I can't deal with it. It's too much. It's really stressful to do these videos, because when you watch something you really love that means something to you be defiled and violated by people who either don't understand it or don't care and just maliciously enjoy damaging it. It's really difficult. So basically this episode, for some reason, they have to change 3 of their crew members, or 4, they try to change 4 crew members into Vulcans, which makes no sense, but I guess there's some reason for it. They've got a half Vulcan on the crew, and there must be at least one other Vulcan. I mean, they've got a Vulcan captain. They've got a ship that is manned by Vulcans in 3 years from these events. So there must be other Vulcans in Starfleet, but they used the injection that was used to turn Spock from full human into half Vulcan again after that incident a couple of seasons ago. And it turns everyone but Palia, who they also inject, into Vulcans, and it's ridiculous. They fall to the ground and start yelling and ranting, and it's supposed to be funny, but it's just cringe and embarrassing for the actors to have to do this. It's worse than Spock and Kirk being made to perform for for Plato's Stepchildren. I'm forgetting the name of the aliens. When they had Kirk and Spock acting out like they were animals and stuff like that. It's worse than that. So they have managed to beat the original Star Trek in cringe, and the worst moments in Star Trek are no longer in Plato's Stepchildren and Spock's brain. They're now in Strange New Worlds. But yeah, so this magic injection just changes them into Vulcans, including their hair. When they stand up, their hair has changed. Their hairstyles have changed, which I don't see how an injection can change the product in the hair on your scalp. It makes no sense. It's the kind of thing you'd expect from a Saturday morning kiddie show. It's not funny. It's not cute. No one's going to forgive moments like this because, it's just a cool episode. We'll just overlook that part that doesn't make any sense. It's just cringe on top of just wrong. Apparently, they have to go down and do some something. So they beam down, and there's this moment where they're walking to. There's been a few clips out now. They're walking to I think the transporter room, and they've got contemporary music playing, and it's supposed to be all gangster, Reservoir Dogs. And it just looks cringe and bad. And they go down and they basically do this job quickly, and then they're like, we're done, with Vulcan proficiency. And they've been back up, and then unfortunately they can't be changed back, so the rest of the episode seems to be them stuck as Vulcans and trying to be funny about it. And obviously by the end of the episode they get turned back into humans, because they don't continue to be Vulcans for the rest of the season. But it's supposed to be funny. From what I've seen, it isn't. From what I've heard, it isn't. And who's the guest actor who appears? He's someone who all the Chuds hate, because he's very outspoken. I'm forgetting his name. But he's there. He's playing a Vulcan, and they make fun of him. And it's just, these people don't understand how Vulcans work. They don't understand how medicine and science work. You can't transfer cultural bias in and learned behavior and information by changing the genetics of a person. Now, in other Star Treks, they would use cosmetics to make someone appear Vulcan. Now, maybe they had to be Vulcan to actually, they'd be scanned or something, and they had to have actual Vulcans to go down on this landing mission, and so maybe that's why they did it, because I don't have all the information. But either way, it's a stupid idea. It's badly executed. It's cringe. From what I've seen, it's horrible. It's the worst episode of Star Trek they've ever made. I'm guessing the puppet episode is going to outdo this, but this has outdone the musical episode, because the musical episode could have been fun had they just done a musical episode, but instead they tried to make a scientific explanation for the singing and the dancing, and it made no sense, and it was just unnecessary. They could have just done a musical episode of Star Trek where, from the start of the episode right through, people just sing all the way through it, and it could have been fun. But they tried to make it work in universe, and that was just implausible and ridiculous and insulting to the intelligence of anyone watching. But unfortunately, a lot of people who watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds are less intelligent, and that's why they don't get it. They never got Star Trek because they weren't intelligent enough to get the levels it worked on. They just got it on the pew pew and the aliens, with the green boobs and everything, and that's all they really needed for cool Star Trek. So this is my non-review review. Don't watch this. You don't need to watch it. It's awful. And I just want it to be over. But we've got at least 2 more bad episodes coming. The puppet episode and something else is coming. I did another video. I guess I'll put out after this. But there's rumor of something else they've done that's going really far, like the musical and the puppet episode in this episode. But they're kind of saving it for the end of the season, or it's actually in season 4. I've heard sort of some rumors that aren't really clear. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm actually over 6 minutes. I didn't mean to be. But I can't make myself watch this. I don't want this in my head. I don't want this in my memory. It's bad enough I've seen the clips. I know about this episode. I want to be able to forget it. I don't want it to ruin Star Trek and make it hard to watch Star Trek, because when I watch Star Trek and things that relate to things that they've changed or mentioned in Strange New Worlds, I'm reminded of Strange New Worlds, and it's harder to watch Star Trek now. And they are ruining Star Trek for fans by making all these contradictory things that now, when you're watching Star Trek, you think of, well, they did this and they did this and this is supposed to be this and that doesn't work as that. And they're proactively, they are retroactively ruining Star Trek by changing things in Strange New Worlds, even though technically it is a different timeline. They're not acknowledging this. They did that and then downplayed and said, well, yes, we changed the timeline, but the timelines eventually just link up again and they're basically the same things happen, so not much changes. It doesn't really matter that we changed. We moved World War III from another century in this timeline. That didn't really affect anything this far into the future. I'm like, no, it does. You're trying to give yourself, a way out, so you can do whatever you want. Try and act like it's still the same Star Trek, but then change anything you want and say, well, it's a different timeline. And ultimately, it's a different universe due to copyright in its initial inception. So this is a reboot, and they could just acknowledge that, and that would be better than trying to act like it makes sense. Like, we just got official canon in Strange New Worlds that the Enterprise is 440 feet long, where it's already established in Star Trek canon, on screen I believe, that it was actually 289 feet. So apparently it grew 153 feet. And it's going to shrink by the start of, Kirk's first mission, of the Enterprise, which is apparently going to be the last scene of the last episode of Strange New Worlds, is Kirk walking onto the bridge as Captain Kirk at the start of, or before the 5-year mission of the original series. But so this is just a nightmare, and it's what's happening with Strange New Worlds and Star Trek in general is a mess, and what's happening with this episode is, it's just a crime against humanity, a crime against Vulcans, Vulcankind, and the intelligence of Star Trek fans, real Star Trek fans who actually got Star Trek on the levels at work. They didn't just view it superficially, because a lot of people were shocked when a lot of the conservatives were having problems with Discovery, and they're like, well, Star Trek's always been conservative. How could you not know this like that? Like, you're just lying and making something. Like, no, they managed to watch Star Trek superficially and just look at the space battles and the green alien women and not get the other levels the show's worked on. They didn't get any of the messages. Some people did, but a lot of them didn't. And the good thing about Star Trek doing subtle allegory was they could put shows like this out, and conservatives and stupid people could watch it and not get offended by the things that the more intelligent people were reading in the episode. So this has turned into a bit of an overall examination of what's happening with Star Trek and these episodes, not just a non-review of the episode. I don't think I'm ever going to watch this episode. I have not watched Section 31. I will not watch Section 31. I did a review without having to watch it. I'm doing a review of this without having to watch it. So it's more a warning of not to watch it, because it's so bad. But even people like Jesse Gender are struggling with the show now. They've turned it into vapid, sci-fi action, comedy, parody, cringe humor, romance, crime fiction, just every genre other than science fiction, every subject other than Star Trek they're trying to address in the show. And they're trying to give everyone everything but Star Trek in an attempt to appeal to everyone because they think Star Trek has no audience and they don't value the fans or think the fans are enough. So it's just a big mess. Don't watch this episode. Don't give them the hate. I'm not giving them the hate view. I'm not doing it. So yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Did I say that already? I feel like I did like 5 minutes ago. But I'm going to go. Don't watch this episode. Save yourself. Spare yourself the pain and the memory.